Hi, my name is Kimberly Pendleton. I am a worker at Capital Returns.
My name is John Royal. I am a community organizer for the Faith Community for Worker Justice, and we are working on a campaign to organize the Capital Returns facility. And we're here today to talk to some of the workers about the working conditions that folks at Capital Returns are facing, and the importance of this campaign in making sure that poverty in Milwaukee is alleviated and people are treated with dignity and respect. Um, so, Kim, could you maybe talk about Kim, Kim and Miss Jane? And Miss Jane is here too, and she is a worker at Capital Returns as well. And we're going to ask Miss Jane and Kim to discuss kind of the background of what Capital Returns is.
Capital Return is a pharmaceutical corporation which process expired meds.
They process expired meds for different pharmacies and hospitals all across the country. And they also do waste disposition for some of the country's biggest pharmaceutical companies.
Miss Jane and Kim, can you guys describe your positions at Capital Returns?
I'm a quality assurance technician.
Miss Jane?
Well, I'm a data entry clerk.
Can you describe some of the situations in which has led you to want to join a union with the United Steelworkers, and some of the reasoning behind you wanting to get involved in an organizing campaign, and what was just some of the background reason?
Well, in looking at some of our the other employees, we see pregnant women coming in into the workforce. Some of them are probably a few months from due dates, but they were hired during that time, I think, on a contract with a staffing agency. We also had a lot of women there that has been had miscarriages, some standing for a number of hours. We have breaks, and if you need additional breaks, you have to say you're going to the restroom, sort of say. Other cases have been just supervisors harassing you for any apparent reason, such as your occurrences, or targeting you for anything deemed as just who you are, because you have an opinion, and they really kind of are afraid of people that have an opinion, and you're in operation. Ms. Jones.
I think the worst thing that I've seen, and I think is really inhumane, is the fact that our policy is to force a pregnant woman to stand 8 hours on her feet on a concrete flooring in about 8x5 space all day, and then require her to lift 50 pounds of product. And this 50 pounds of product, and this 50 pounds is into a tote that she has to lift this over her head. I think this is inhumane.
Because so.
And that is really one of the reasons why I really decided to go and be a part of it. It was the main reason, because, of course, I'm not pregnant. I hope I'll never be pregnant. But this is one of the main reasons why it has to be something done about a person who can do another person this way.
And also, to add to that, they're also not knowing what kind of products are actually coming in. And a lot of the products is actually toxin, laser hazardous products. We don't know what we're smelling in the air, or what's getting into our body. Some of the things that we're faced with, we don't even know and I could just say the unknown, what we're taking home. So pretty much that also too, they've put up barriers where you can't see who the next person is next to you, We had a case where someone had passed out. So with these bearers up, who knows how long she had been passed out, unless somebody actually had walked past.
And in addition to that, uh, even after a doctor has recommended that a person should be sitting, the company says that they can't accommodate them. But then part of this process is done in another warehouse, and all these people are sitting, and it's just so I just can't explain enough. It just hurts me to see people's happen being treated this way. It's just inhumane. That's all I can say. Yeah.
In their way of telling you that they can't accommodate you for that situation. If the doctor did say that you had to sit down, they sent you home for until the doctor approved, because you had a work restriction. They sent you home until the doctor lifted that restriction.
Well, chemicals, I mean, that's what a pharmaceutical is. It is a chemical. It's been refined, but it still remains a chemical. And if, say for instance, if you are allergic to penicillin, and if a big thing of penicillin comes in and you take a big breath of it, you don't, I mean, you know, but of course, OSHA said that penicillin is not hazardous, but it's hazardous to you. You have a right to know that this is hazardous to you, and that this product is in the box, and somebody needs to do something about it. We don't even have a place for someone that's sick or ill. There's no place to lay down for a few minutes. There's no nurse on duty. Nothing. So, and you know, co-workers have been talked out of going to the
Doctors and everything, yeah.
right? So it won't be reported to OSHA.
The union will offer a grievance process if a worker is being arbitrarily fired for something like, for example, is what Kim expressed, and what some other workers have actually expressed as well, when they've been fired or had things happen, taken away. There's a grievance process. They have access to all the legal things. What a union does is it ensures these workers a contract. Whenever an agreement is made with any sort of company with capital returns, when it's a pharmaceutical recycling plant, make a contract with Walgreens, they make a contract with CVS. Many of these companies that they work for, or that they are distributors for, they have a contract, and they're treated, and there's certain stipulations that go within the contract. Every business runs with a contract, except for the exception of the workers at capital returns. You can be fired, you can be cheated, you can be stamped on like mud. And that's the importance of it.
We received the Jinko voting fact that was handed out on Friday. I wasn't there, but I did get a copy first thing when I got in today, or actually right before I left. It entails trying to tell us about, and I can read a couple of lines for you. As you know, the Steelworker Union has asked the National Labor Board to conduct an election at Jinko Cap Returns on March 6, 2008. Come and support us. Agents of the National Labor Relations Board will be at Jinko to hold an election to decide whether the steelworkers will represent a certain number of hourly teammates, and the details are following March 6th, and then the times and the location where they're going to host it. But the main thing around this is, even though you didn't sign a union card, you still can vote no. Then there was some say, we want to make sure you understand the risks and uncertainty associated with having a union, including having to pay union dues every month and risk going on strikes and not getting paid at all. They say they want us to learn all the facts there is to know about both sides, but we only hear one side. So now we all feeling like, that VA commercial we leaning, so that's where we are.